Okay, so, Shaz, the last video for today, we are going to try to read this because I know these videos where I read, I spend 10 minutes talking about it and I never read the whole thing. So this one we're going to actually try to read it the whole hour, and then I'll have one more day in order to fucking actually knock out, knock out the, knock out the story. I have to fucking go from 172 Thompson to all the other fucking areas. But whatever, there's a lot of emotions in Pooks, and Pooks is an open conversation, and it's someone that I'm trying to keep in my life. Let me tell you a story. Line paper self-portrait. My name is Shaz Barbaric. That's me above, well, a picture of me. Here are a couple more showing what I look like with a mustache. Smiling self-portrait. Caricature. I messed this one up, so I erased half of it. Artistic license. Half-face, light portrait. Shaz is a pretty cool name, I know. I picked it out myself. Well, a friend gave me the email address from some Star Wars fan fiction around 94, I think. I was in 6th grade. Anyways, I really wanted Dash Rendar, but he got that one for himself. So shazbarbaric@yahoo.com was born. Red face portrait. I didn't draw that one. That's from this artist I met in line for a comedy show in Manhattan. Vincent Kings. Good guy. He made me look cool, but I was just really tired and stoned. That's where I live, Manhattan. I have a real estate brokerage here. If you click on the logo below, it'll take you to my real estate website, though I need to do some work on it, so be kind. 6'4". You can see me showing people apartments at the following YouTube channels. David with Oxford, YouTube. Shaz Barbaric, YouTube taken down. Shaz, R4L, YouTube showings. I know what you're probably thinking, and yes, Manhattan's an expensive place to survive. My apartment is $2,600, one bedroom, and the shower is in the kitchen. But the West Village off Carmine and Bleecker is really one of the best locations in the greatest city in the world. Trust me, this is my job. Yaya roof pick. Me on the roof pick. You're not supposed to know the dancer's name, by the way. It's a good life. You might have noticed in the links above that I started out in real estate as David McNerney before I changed my name legally. I guess changing your name is kind of like artistic license too, in a way, if your life was a drawing. I know most people don't change their name to match their email, but it's not quite that simple. You see, a writer was the earliest thing I could imagine becoming. I read a lot. Authors were always like CS this or JRR that. So you start imagining what your name would be. D. McNerney just didn't have the same style as S. B. Barrick. Below is a screenshot from a website I made maybe 10 years ago. Screen capture, 2007. That was back when my folks still owned their own house. I'd found a couple literary references for the barbaric part and was making it work. But you'll notice it says I was based out of California. My life has not been a straight line, so I guess I should just start back at the beginning. Birth certificate. Okay, California, 1982. I don't want this to be too long, so I'll just catch you up to high school really quick. Baby with moms. Kid me on the phone. Kid me hands. School photo. Jail outfit. Wrestling team photo. Wrestling photo. Army toughs. That last picture was getting a little ahead, maybe, because that's the army after high school. But first, I shouldn't be rude and introduce you to my folks, since they'll be in and out of this story as well. Pops and Mama G. My dad's half Irish. My mom's full Mexican. Someone might have slept with a Jew in there somewhere. I've always thought that it was a funny life. I've always thought that was a funny line, but I'm not sure why. When you're a mixed kid, you get used to the where are you from question. So you keep a couple zingers in your back pocket. I always say I'm just a mutt. Less explanations. Stuff like this underground newspaper was probably why I didn't get good grades in school. It just didn't make sense to me. I always resented not being allowed to play and learn in my own time. And eventually, I did just do what I wanted and barely graduated, taking mostly advanced placement classes that finished in April, and then leaving my senior year to live with Dash Rendar near the beach, skipping out on the whole ceremony and prom and all that other stuff. Though I probably have a decent one developed by now. Hmm. Huh, what was that mean? But back to high school. Oh, wait. Oh, that is, I copied and pasted that wrong. Got my diploma though. Not that it mattered. A friend of mine had offered a recruiter my name to get him off his back. I never really planned to go to college anyways, even though I had Ivy League SATs. I got like a 1430 out of 1600, which back then I think was pretty good. We didn't really have much money. I didn't want to go into debt or hang around my hometown. Since all we had to do to take the military test, since we all have to take the military test, they also knew I was smart. Last time I figured out these numbers, I think I would have qualified for any job I wanted, 95th percentile or something, whatever language schools they offered. So of course they give the brown kid Arabic and shoot me off to Monterey, California to learn language in a year. Military documents. Not having done well in the structure of high school, I'm not sure what I expected from the military. Imagine college where they can take away your money and freedom for dropping below a C average. Also, you don't have a Bill of Rights, but now are the property of the government. Grandpa Bob. But I always wanted to be in the military. Grandpa flew planes for the Navy. Some people serve. I wanted to be one of those people. And while I was in, I met a lot of other military families. You can scan them above papers to see what type of troublemaker I was. But long story short, 2 years into a 5-year enlistment, both myself and the military thought we should probably call a mutual breakup for everyone's benefit. Got a top secret security clearance, though. That was pretty cool. And I learned to drink, smoke, and play guitar, as I like to tell people. Oh, you might have noticed the documents are about Korean and not Arabic classes. Yeah, I switched because I had a friend in Korean. Don't worry, you'll meet him further in the page, in a drunk poker game, threatening to sue me. But back then, thinking ahead, I figured Korean was closer to Chinese, which might be a little bit more useful when I get out. Little did I know. YouTube video, war criminals taken down. Yeah, I got to watch September 11th happen from the barracks of a military base with a bunch of other mostly 18 to 20-year-olds staring at the rec room TV as a second plane crashed into the towers. And only last month we had been complaining in the smoke pit that our generation was cheated out of its own Vietnam experience, huh? Marijuana heart floating down a river on a log. Marijuana. The first time I smoked weed was actually the day I got out of the military. You see, they actually check on your past for those security clearances. So they talked to my friends and teachers from high school. We were a pretty conservative Christian family. I wasn't the type to jump into experiences. And since I was always told I was smart, I didn't want to mess up the main thing going for me. But I had just regained my freedom, so on the drive back down to Southern California from the Defense Language Institute, I went for a hike in Big Sur up some gorge, where another friend proceeded to get me high for the first time at age 20. I didn't feel it. I guess it didn't work on me. And then we pushed a redwood log into the water and rode it down the river. And then I noticed the sun begun to sparkle in slow motion, like stained glass. There's a depth I'd never noticed in the shadows of the trees. The greens were vibrant. The water felt amazing. I was high. At this point, I wasn't Chaz Barbaric yet. I had the email, but I was very much still David McNerney. I just knew I didn't like the Army, and I just discovered I really might like weed, at least in nature. Hand to head, smoking bowl, beer in hand. Indeed, this early part of my 20s was a time of trying on identities. I did what I thought was expected of me, which oddly meant drinking was more acceptable than smoking. I can say with 100% certainty that I would have gotten into less trouble in my youth had this been inverted. But I had to find out for myself which was the greater danger to my health. So for the time being, I did what everyone else did. Go to college and get fucked up. CSUSB, poetry class. Cal State San Bernardino. You can tell I'm in SoCal because these fucking terrible exhausts behind me. Cal State San Bernardino, beautiful campus and beautiful poetry class with only two guys in it. You would think I'm back on track in society, right? CSUSB transcripts. But things just didn't click for me. I started with business and switched it up to creative writing, thinking I should focus on my passion. It didn't feel like my story though. The teachers and coursework were uninspiring. The partying seemed like we were doing what we were told was fun, but I didn't feel like I was actually expressing myself. Everyone seemed to be going through the motions. I didn't want to pick up an identity, even if it ended up fitting. I wanted to figure things out. What things? I didn't know. I just kept reading. There's a connecting story to history. I wanted to know what it was, to put it into my own words. I wanted to create something with my life. Once I fell for a girl. She told me in my car how she was raped at a frat party. I had already stopped going to school by then, but it was just confirmation. I was in Northern California at the time visiting a friend, and Berkeley had just expelled students for organizing a protest against the newly fabricated war in Iraq, a war that historic global protests had tried to prevent. Whatever the truth was, the honest opposition, it wasn't on campuses. All I saw was careerism, entitlement, and excess. I dropped out, got a job in consumer lending, rented a house near the beach with some friends. Leaning on car with friends, HFC employment letter. And for a little bit, I felt like I had my shit together. Me and Mitch on the beach, July beer. So why did I quit consumer lending? Can't really say, not as clearly as I can say why I quit school. I mean, I did try to go back to school a couple times, just like I always had to get another job to keep working to survive. And I guess owning my own business now has been my compromise. Perhaps some people shouldn't work for others. Maybe I get that from my folks who own their own insurance agency. Kissing Mama G. But it was something else too. I really wanted to figure it out. Why was no one stopping this war? It was like you're the only person noticing that the chain is not connected to the gears, and yet everyone wants you to keep pedaling faster. But we're not actually making the tires spin, and we sure as hell can't make them stop. So I got more jobs where I sometimes quit and sometimes I was fired. Park aid photo, notice of termination. Yeah, I did make it back to Big Sur. I love that place. But again, careerism, entitlement. Everything I got fired for, others did as well. I just did it in a socially unacceptable way. My boss let people in the park for free, but I didn't let in the right people. The college kids got drunk together, but I got drunk with the guest visa workers, or the weird kid who was squatting in our bike camp. I mean, to be fair though, as far as that parks job went, I was probably technically bad at the job. But the bigger picture was that I had begun to realize in high school and later in the Army, but was only able to articulate after my time with Occupy Wall Street later on. There were formal and informal structures in society. I was rejecting them all for some reason. Passport. And reading. I would just work to buy books basically, and then I guess take time off to read them. I just remember weeks at a time reading, sometimes on a night schedule so I'd have the house to myself. I didn't read everything, but I started to read enough to have my own opinion. Books, portrait of me reading. So through maybe 2008, I was just accumulating information and trying to form my own opinion of the world. Some of those opinions were hard won. I remember the cognitive dissonance, reading my first book on Islam, which I was raised to view as an inferior religion. Then afterward, how I'd tell my mom I wanted to celebrate Ramadan, and she told me let's make it Mamadan instead. We would disagree, she would argue with scripture, but I think she knew what I was trying to do. She just didn't have the time. By then I was hardly working, traveling between Santa Cruz and the Inland Empire every couple months when my money ran out. Self-exploration apparently is one of the excesses of youthful poverty. Old-timey shaz. And what was the end of this self-education? Well, there's this one guy, self-described acid casualty gutter punk, maybe 40, had done some traveling, a lot of tattoos, always shirtless. He pitched a pagoda in a friend's backyard until he took his life by jumping off a bridge. But he was a seeker, too, and he read furiously, and this world caused him a lot of pain. Obviously because he had a mental illness, but also because he had an amazing heart. He cared too much. And I was starting to realize that in this world that could be a liability. So I had to learn to either not care as much like everyone else, or acknowledge insanity, or at the very least, social isolation and rejection lay at the end of this journey. Vagrants, Vedas, photos. Of course, I'm being a little melodramatic. I came from a good family and had a great support system. It wasn't either really a choice between cynicism or the loony bin. But as I revealed the historic record of my country's aggression at home and abroad, I also passed the warning signs against antagonizing supreme authority. Most are familiar with a major canon of martyrs who've died standing in opposition to injustice, the trinity of Martin, Malcolm, and JFK. Or is it Martin, RFK, and JFK? But I'd never heard of Fred Hampton before I stumbled across his documentary online. We see Che Guevara all over the place, but no one told me about Lumumba, who was his contemporary, the first democratically elected president of the Congo, who supposedly declared upon his inauguration, "We are no longer your monkeys." Here's a recent example. Dag Hammarskjöld, the second Secretary General of the UN, and a man JFK called the greatest statesman, the greatest states... How do you do a JFK voice? For those who wish to learn, whatever the color or the creed, the greatest statesman of our century, the greatest... You're never going to get good at accents, Shaz. The greatest statesman of our century. Only recently was acknowledged to have been most likely assassinated. YouTube video jumping, blah, blah. I was supposed to have been smart enough to have figured out the third way between hopelessness and mania. The artist exploring the true historic record, Milan Kundera, illuminating the Prague Spring with a little sexiness and style thrown in for good measure. It's when I learned that authority here in the United States, not some communist country, but the one I had wanted to fight and possibly die for, could come after the artist as well, that I started to have doubts about my self-described life's path. Why did they have to kill Lenny Bruce? And Deceit and Love. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to finish 4 of these maybe. I'll do 2 videos on this one. 161 videos it will be. And the next time I sit down, I will do 6 videos. Or maybe I'll do 2 days of 3 hours each. But you will finish, Shaz. And once you finish, you will be the better man for it. You will learn to do accents properly and within the right context. I'm not sure what this one is. Let's see if I can continue it. A wannabe writer. So there I was, a wannabe writer with on one hand a conviction that I can't do that. With on one hand a conviction that only the truth is worth telling, and then on the other recognizing a sociopathic need for conformity from the top down in my society. So I made my truth small. I focused on myself. America was getting herself worked up to elect Obama like a fake orgasm of social justice, but I didn't stick around to witness the disappointment. No, I went to Mexico to lay roses on my grandmother's grave and keep working on my story. I kept growing stronger. Iraqi boy linked to Harold Pinter, Nobel Prize lecture, Decibels and War Dead linked to essay. There are so many spinning plates in the news, I don't know if we have a strong collective memory of Obama's mandate, but I remember. It was an anti-war election. It was an anti-authoritarian executive election. It was a referendum on the flaming shit show that was George Jr.'s presidency. And of course, he gave everyone a pass, refusing to look backwards. The American people don't want to look backwards. After George President, the American people want to water down Obamacare, as he said, and bailing out the banks before going on to prosecute more whistleblowers and escalating more foreign conflicts than his predecessors. The hypocrisy was becoming unbearable. I'd come back from Mexico with 50 pages of a novel written, an immigrant story based on the effects of NAFTA on both sides of the border. But it just didn't interest me as much as the dominant narrative of injustice. Brother Benson. That's me coming back from Mexico as the prodigal son, which is kind of like an insult. I used to think, oh, that's cute. They're using a religious term for me. They're saying you're the fuck up. Read that story. It's not fucking... Anyways, it's funny. With flowers for my mom, because she doesn't understand why it can't just be normal. To my right is Brother Benson, who's pretty much known me my whole life. He met my folks when I was just born. YouTube video 5 minutes. My mom was an orphan. My dad lost his own father before they had me. Brother Benson's as much of a grandpa as I've had. He said I was going to be a preacher as well. I didn't agree with everything he said, but he's a good man. I know this because he counseled my folks when they fought. He was slow to anger. I never saw him get angry. He was a hard worker. He had a word. Obama's an asshole. Barry is an asshole. Look at the picture above. It's not a smile. That's a sneer. We've just forgotten how to tell the difference. There's a difference between cool and cold. He increased racial tensions by having race be the only substance to the discussion. That's what they mean by Obama being a racist. He used his race as a gimmick, just like my line about someone sleeping with a Jew. By using his identity to further his own ambition in such a shallow way, he merely used the concept of race, with all of its complex baggage and history, as another political tactic. Obama didn't invent this trick, but his approach to it hardly broke from tradition. There's a difference between illuminating the black experience and cashing it in. Besides, mutts like me are the first to point out that race has always been more of a political than a scientific classification. He might as well have been adhering to the one-drop doctrine. But we were also desperate, I guess, which probably makes his political opportunism worse in hindsight. YouTube video, blah, 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 taken down. Maybe you don't agree with me. I get heated. I'm not a genius. I only get 95% of the answers right, remember? But I think enough time has passed to acknowledge that Obama let us all down. It's just that those of us who are paying attention have been let down for a little bit longer. So I tried to turn my frustration into something positive. I made art. I wrote. I took speeches from historic figures that I felt contained wisdom worth sharing and put them to inspirational music. Political joints taken down. And then I listened to those songs because I needed inspiring. It wasn't a bike without a chain anymore. It was a bike without wheels. As Fred Hampton predicted, they gave us a Negro imperialist. You know what it was? It was that shitty horse at the grocery store that you put a quarter in as a child, you get on once, and you never do it again. Because for some reason it looks awesome every time you pass it. But it doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not a real animal, and it's not even a real toy. Obama was a way to keep us distracted while the adults went shopping. Pic of writer, business card, YouTube video taken down. Screenshots. I like Americans. Fucking patriots. Monday morning. Allah Akbar. Cadence of the Christian soldier. God help the man. Proud to be an American couch owner. Lady soldier with footnotes. Interrogation. March 19th, 2003. NYC, NY. Cadence. To a tragic American. Go. Our museums empty their beauty. Flagman fun. White lip widow. Office Shaz shirt. Office. Smiling. Didn't land any freelance writing gigs, though, so I also pretended to work at my parents' business between trips back to the Bay Area. Every now and then making them some money by accident. YouTube video, blah, 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 taken down. YouTube video, blah, 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 taken down. Around this time, I developed my concept of tools versus toys. Tools multiply labor, toys waste it. In a world of abundance, our cultural obsession with toys helped explain the current situation. It also served as a warning sign for myself. No problem of human destiny is beyond human beings, as Kennedy said. If we're focused on them, that is. In order for our world to maintain its disrepair in the face of increased efficiency, it made sense that labor would have to be systematically wasted. So I started to document the promoted distractions. And I marked down every time a person and organization had told me to get on that shitty fake horse ride and took them off the list of people whose judgment I could trust. Have you made your list yet? You should probably start while we still have an honest historic record. Barry's done. His actions are set. Judge the man against his word. Did he match his rhetoric? How does that make you feel? DUI paperwork? Well, it made me feel like getting drunk. And then I got DUI, so don't do that. Actually, I blame the Lakers. And after some reflection, myself. I needed to change my lifestyle. So I found an ad for a job with Greenpeace in Manhattan and jumped on a plane. It's not the size of the tree, as they say. It was a cold, humbling first New York winter. All that writing and books were left back in California. I was too much in my head. I was growing bitter and in danger of jumping off bridges. I needed to live. I needed balance. I needed a relationship. Even when I was doing real estate. I know when Shaz needs to he needs that female counter energy. I'm too much fucking me. Which is a great person to be, but sometimes it's too much. So I did what any self-respecting adult 10 years ago did to get laid. I went on Craigslist, online courtship. This is where the Shaz versus David dichotomy started to come up. I was David in my public life, but my email I used for everything, including my dating life, was now this Shaz bar, just Shaz Bar Barrett, Barrett, Barrett. And I didn't want to give it up. Once I secured a relationship with a new Shaz name, the girl telling me that I looked more like Shaz, that's Shah, the first girl to give me real confidence. That settled it. That's a fuck you love. That's not like fucking the world's gonna tell me shit. Fuck you, dude. I got my queen. She tell me I'm a king. A king carries his kingdom with him. I would say that shit when I'm walking around the street, and then I show up at fucking little druggy fucking jewel box girls fucking penthouse apartment overlooking the Central Park. I'm like, these motherfuckers on the street recognize the king carries his kingdom with me. They can see it in my eyes. I don't have a kingdom now, but I had a kingdom and I had a queen. I don't know, the fucking Shaz philosophy of life. As I sit on a bench and drink with a fucking wino. I was Shaz the writer in a serious relationship with a beautiful, creative, intelligent, and equally impulsive partner for the first time in my life. I would change my name as soon as I sold my first book project, I told myself. So we moved back to the Bay Area to work on that project. Because if I was going to consider actually settling down with this girl, I had to share Big Sur with her. I had to share my version of beauty and happiness. She packed a suitcase full of, she did do this. She packed a suitcase full of shoes and asked me where all the streetlights were. It was an adjustment. This bitch brought fucking 3 or 4 suitcases, and I swear half of them were shoes. She changed. Portland, she got crunchier than me. But when I first met her, this girl was street, New York, fucking hundreds of dollars worth of MAC cosmetics. She chilled the fuck out. And now she's fucking all into energy crystals. I'm like, yo, you passed me on the spectrum. I've tried to stay me and these influence. Anyway, we are a product of our relationships in our life, friendships and otherwise. I like that she has a hippie shit. I like to know people who are into shit that I'm like, I'm not so much into Mercury retrograde, but I'm glad that you're advising me that it's going on and I should be careful. Thank you. It was winter of 2009 or 10. We had jobs in Berkeley, where I'd lived for a couple months back when I was fresh out of the army and always meant to return. Even if it's not the current activist hub, there's an energy in the air and a natural beauty that makes you feel alive. I and thou cover. So we ended up subletting an apartment on Spalding from Regina Spektor's cousin, funny enough. What's up, Regina? That night we met, she recommended a book over a hand-rolled cigarette that read like a workout, where once you finish, you could go right back to the beginning and start over for a next level of understanding. That's like this fucking anarchist book. I'm gonna have to dig into here. I'm starting to realize Woodcock's blind spots. It's like, he has an agenda. He has a fucking angle. Fucking Woodcock. But not Martin Berber. I think I am that was pretty pure. Mental heavy lifting. Philosophy as art. Truth. I had a girl I was considering putting a ring on, so I made plans to jump into the family business, albeit in my own way. Some people say albeit, some people say albeit. And start an insurance agency in Northern California. The art, though our initial spark, was going to have to take a backseat to realite. While Shaw worked at a local health clinic as a receptionist, I sat home smoking multiple strains of medical-grade marijuana, free samples from recently made friends in return for my opinion of the quality, and I collected data into spreadsheets from the California government motor carrier permit sites, DMIS, Insurance Agency Business Card. I was maturing, right? Time to put those childish things away if I wanted to start a family. As Mom said, she also liked Che Guevara when she was young, until that bastard Fidel killed him because he was jealous. She had her ideas. But she also was a hard worker. Both my parents were. Self-made, independent entrepreneur Republicans. My dad's never been on disability, even though he's epileptic. Pride in yourself and your ability over handouts. I have learned a couple tricks. I'm going to plug this guy in and just charge him up real quick. Just because I usually do that. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't do that. Actually, I have to... Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to do this before my folks come home, because I surreptitiously and secretly record their conversations as a part of the book project. Don't tell them. But if we're going to analyze the propaganda that they're ingesting and figure out a way to cure them, because they're not really racist assholes, they just have been infected by bullshit. then I have to record our conversations in order to actually figure out what the fuck's going on. Which of this is father and son, mother and son arguments which are natural, and which of these are fucking viral ideas like 6,500. Like there is some deep shit going on from the shows, from the fucking the Twitter, the QAnon, all that shit. There's some people online are like, oh yeah, that's a hoax. No, that's not a hoax. That's Cambridge Analytica. Fucking, this is high level fucking psychology. I mean, I don't know how high level, but like, this shit is targeted to a certain type of people, a certain type of demographic for certain emotional triggers, and I'm recognizing this shit. I've known my parents all my life. They're acting interesting. They're becoming more racist, and they come from an older generation when they have some biases and some funny things, but this is since over the years they've devolved emotionally. My mom calls me a snowflake, and my dad says sad a lot, like how Trump twitters. Like, they're taking on the characteristics of their leader. I don't know if this is a social phenomenon because they voted for him and this just normally happens, but I think ingesting propaganda over a long period of time starts to do so. Baron Sachin Cohen said the same thing. He said, people are saying shit around America they wouldn't have fucking dared to say 10 years ago when he went undercover before and he would try to goad people into saying bullshit. He's like, people are openly saying some really crazy shit. And just saying that and acknowledging it, I don't think he quite understands the issue. People aren't worse. I mean, like, technically, basically, like, they are worse. That's what I'm saying. My parents become worse human beings, but they're my parents. They're not bad people. It's like junk food. Someone's eating junk food over and over, and you're like, you're becoming fat. You're not helping anyone. We have to recognize what the inputs are. People are becoming more racist, more emotionally triggered, and all this other stuff. More just less emotionally sophisticated. People are basically devolving in their emotional intelligence. This is because of what we're ingesting on both sides. Both sides are subscribing to the lowest common denominator. On the supposed left, they do it through the identity politics. On the supposed right, they do it through fear mongering. And then when I read that book, The Authoritarians, that really helped me out. But that's neither here nor there. That's what I'm working on. But that's why I surreptitiously record conversations to later on deconstruct them and figure it out. We've had some really interesting conversations here. All right. Pride in yourself and your abilities over handouts. Chaz always does stuff for multiple reasons. That's sometimes people think I'm an ego-driven person or this and that. There's always more than one narrative at play. So, like, even these fucking recordings, what we're doing here, there's a couple different angles. And so that way when people engage or when stuff happens, it's like, are you seeing the whole board, though? There's moves. There's stuff happening. If you could think about it, I probably thought of it. Or else I'm not as smart as I think I am, right? I had learned a couple tricks on how to build a sales pipeline while working for my folks. Some of my clients still brought them decent commissions, and I knew it all first started with a good database of leads. Commercial trucking was where the money was, near a port like Auckland, one of the busiest in the world. So I got high and worked on the foundations of my nascent business while the girl held down the bills. Yeah, but I paid for ass in fucking Santa Cruz. That's not misogynist shit. She very fucking like, I will pay the bill sometime, but then you're going to work now. Fucking, I'm going to stay at home. Shit, none of that. This is equal opportunity, bitch. Granny D hikes across America. And then, sitting at home with my unlimited free weed and hours of busy work, I watched a documentary on Hulu about Granny D, an old lady who walked across the country to raise political awareness. Funny enough, that documentary was free on Hulu back then, but now I can't find it anywhere online. I couldn't even find a valid source for the Iraqi boy who lost an eye I posted further up when I was ranting about Obama through a reverse image search. Reverse image search. I had this one beatbox I would do. I start beatboxing the bassline mix and got the break the pop lock to the live transmission, got the hand clap with the snare in the back, a rhythmatic scratch, make it so abstract. That is Shaz. This coffee, that's what happened. I'm not going to go sleep tonight. No, it's the last video. I'm fucking getting tired of these videos. 6 hour videos a day. The internet has changed over these last 8 years. Writing candidate for Governor Swag. But back to the story. I was starting to get my own ideas again. Non-commercial ideas. Non-commercial insurance ideas. Political ideas. YouTube video taken down. Our cultural tools were multiplying as well as our toys. YouTube was sold to Google a year and a half after its invention for $1.65 billion. Billion dollars. Cameras were taking videos. Good videos. People were becoming empowered. Perhaps now, the truth could outrun deceit. I've always felt that if you could slow down your mind, the answers will come to you. Just like all writing is editing, the answer is defined by what is left. YouTube video, I'm taken down. 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 Yeah, I annoyed my friends, but I felt like I was onto something. California was having an election. Jerry Brown, the former governor and son of a previous one, wanted to run again. I had read enough by then to start focusing on power structures and how the same people always seem to stay at the top. When you're young, you just want a big boss to fight. But as you gain wisdom and experience, you realize that evil, in its most malicious form, isn't a concentrated poison, but a diluted one. The kind that doesn't kill people immediately, but slowly cripples them. Perhaps that's why our collective consciousness latches onto these Hamlet figures, haunted by the ghost of historic tragedies that we've never been able to contextualize. I just read, when I wrote this, the end of 2017, I just heard or listened to Harold Bloom's The Western Canon. So I was deep into the Western Canon. Hamlet figures, haunted by the ghost of historic tragedies we've never been able to contextualize, rejecting friend, lover, and mother, and suicidal self-explorations. But then Don Quixote was able to achieve a measure of honesty, peace, and even fame, although admittedly he used the tools of delusion to attain them, and language. I like to think this was because Cervantes was a soldier, an honorable one. No, it's real. He got a letter when he was in prison as a captive stating this soldier acted honorably. And so he knew the real consequences for false words, for better or for worse. Shakespeare merely made cuckolds of his crowds. Second quest. Okay. I'm going to do half of this. I'll do the other half the next day. Press release for CA Tour. Dynasties are broken systems in democracies. Hero worship, assumed candidacies, party machines. These all are power black holes. We didn't need answers. We just needed to crack the door open for the answers to develop. That's what Granny D inspired me to do. That's the wisdom I was going to hang my hat on. What was left once I stripped out all the emotion and the bullshit. Pull the weeds and the garden will recover. Sunlight will cure the rot. Or as I put it in my press release, you can't fail at democracy. The failure is in not trying. So I ran for governor, of course, as a writing candidate, of course. Crescent City, pick Lincoln to citizens audit entries. 105 citizen audit videos taken down. 105 videos. Just citizens audit alone, I had 105 videos taken down. All because I posted 4 videos that they claim were copyright infringement, which I claim was fair use. They took down hundreds of my original content. You're depriving me of monetization, YouTube, and that's causing me financial distress and emotional harm. Or strike that, reverse it. 105 videos containing 11 hours of footage, interviewing around 35 people, including city mayors, comptrollers, artists, and librarians, as well as a half dozen animals, including a toad, some peacocks, and an emu. It was a hot mess of raw content on a dysfunctional website I was teaching myself to build while also trying to edit the footage down and create shot schedules every morning, while living out of a Honda Civic with my young love and about $1,000 budget that was supposed to last us 4 months. Funny face in the mirror. Yeah, the project had quickly spiraled out of the control. To begin with, I still hadn't changed my name legally, so although I was going around introducing myself as Shaz, I had an internal conflict, not to mention the illogic of running, even symbolically, for candidacy under a false name. We were using couch surfing heavily to take breaks from sleeping in the backseat of the car, where most nights than not we'd pile our clothes to a flattened mound and make a nest for two, and then just like fuck like rabbits and pass out. Then in the morning, we'd grab a cup of coffee somewhere with Wi-Fi, and I'd outline a rough idea of where to find our shots. Give me the top and bottom couple addresses in this local real estate market. Give me whatever art scene they have, collective, museum, gallery, whatever. Secretary Shaw. What industries are historic here? Secretary Shaw. That kid walking down the street looks interesting. Get the phone out, let's go. YouTube video taken down. It was just too much. After the last loan from the folks, it was her folks, it wasn't my folks. This is more assholes. No, not asshole Shaz, just using Shaz. Just learning in my life after I did real estate and money stuff. Just edit that out of your life. Stand on your own feet more, Shaz. But, the folks keep us going. I say as I fucking borrow from everyone this year. But this is an audit, Shaz. This is temporary. And after the last blow up with friends to crash on their couch, interrupted their very real responsibilities with our delusions of populist uprising, we called it quits. My girl went back to Manhattan to regroup, and myself, I went back to my parents' house in Southern California without Sancho Panza. That's the name of the sidekick for Don Quixote. That's an allusion to the last section. It's a callback. My insanity had returned and then abated once again through poverty, but then taken deeper hold in my psyche for the flare-up. I became a loose cannon, grabbing at political straws for any writing project I could conceive of to crack through the notes. See, when I wrote this, I hadn't actually read all that stuff, so I was a little bit down on those. And then when I read them, I actually liked some of the stuff I wrote in there, especially like why I'm right. That's a good one. I should wrap that up this year if I can. No, I won't have time. I have these and other stuff. This video is embarrassing. Too bad you can't see it. I'm in my underwear working out, being silly. But not because I'm running around in my underwear putting on a bad Cholo accent. Oh, that accent was horrible. That video, thank you YouTube for taking that down. That should never see the light of day. Some of the shit I'm like, YouTube, that's my life's work. And that one I'm like, good job, good guy YouTube. My folks were working at the time to save their business and house through a deepening historic recession while my head was in the clouds. I bummed around, refused to work. Yeah, I explored some interesting ideas, but at the cost of those around me, I was taking a lot. I blew it away like you guys. I don't want to smell my bad breath. I was taking a lot, giving back little. When I reflect upon what it means to be a good man, I think about this time and what those decisions cost us, what other decisions could have helped us avoid as a family. Taken down. I wonder about that. Would I have gone to Occupy Wall Street knowing what happened afterwards, and then knowing my parents were losing their house? Why I just fucking gotten a job? Because after I got in real estate and found out I could make money, I was like, I guess I was avoiding this. This isn't so bad. But also, it's like, you got this intellectual purity. I'm trying to fucking develop my own opinions about the world. If I made money when I was younger, I might have fucking thought might not have been able to walk away from it. I almost didn't walk away from it this time. I was clinging on to my old life. I got dragged out of the video. I got dragged out of the apartment by my claws. I was bitter. I was angry. I was sad. Addiction does that to you. And fucking money is addictive. Lifestyle is addictive. Status is addictive. Fucking this thing. I claim I don't have a fucking cell phone. I have this thing. Technology is addictive. I continued to invest in my own story, the small truth, by exploring the Mexican-American experience deeper. And I also tried to contextualize the broader American citizen struggle against oppression through literature, discovering multiple new layers to one of my favorite authors, while also starting to resonate with anarchism, a concept I once thought too far out there. I try to contextualize. Wait, what did I mean here? I continue to invest in my own story, the small truth. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's when I was reading a lot about Mexican history. I only know that because the videos were taken down. I have David Bacon's fucking... David Bacon wrote The Children of NAFTA. This is some real shit about Mexicans and how the United States and Mexico and our economic fucking relationship to each other. I also try to contextualize the broader American citizen struggle against oppression through literature, discovering multiple new layers to one of my favorite authors while also starting to resonate with anarchism, a concept I thought once too far out there. Randolph Byrne, oh yeah, so that's what it was. Jack London was a favorite author. The low water mark was probably when I was living out of my car in San Francisco on a few dollars I had left. See, I have it backwards because I said I went home. Oh, so see, this is the first attempt at an autobiography. I wasn't working out in my underwear and doing that other stuff. And then because when I broke with Shaw, I was up in the Bay Area, and that's when I walked in front of Nancy Pelosi's office and shit. So this really should be before the above section. This is it. I only know that because I've done this. Reviewing your life is tough. Every time you do it, at the end of this year or at the end of next year, a year from now, when I watch these videos again, I'm probably going to correct some stuff too. Even walking through New York these last 5-6 years, slow and steady, because I'm like, I already missed. I missed a fucking room before 172 Thompson. There's there's 1 or 2 rooms that I missed that I rented out that are kind of important. I have like 6 more hours to brainstorm it some more, but this is half the discussion. But yeah, so the low water mark was probably when I was living out of my car in San Francisco on the few dollars I had left before I went home to work out of my underwear and shit. And because from home I went to Puerto Rico. A cup of coffee and a boiled egg from a local cafe were luxuries because I didn't have Sugar Mama Shaw around. My friends in the Bay Area were no longer taking my calls. I was showering at a nudist beach on the North Shore in view of the Golden Gate Bridge, walking into the ocean with my washcloth and shampoo on sunny days, and otherwise reading about the pirating exploits of London's childhood. To read a book in the area of the fucking author is awesome. Jack London's Bay Area author. Jack London is. He ran for mayor of Oakland, all that shit. And then to read that book in the Bay Area, looking at the fucking shit that he looked at. Like I was reading The 100 Years of Solitude in Mexico. Walking the streets of Mexico with the book in my hand. And you feel you're Latin America, and it's about Latin American history. At one point, that's why I read fucking Woodcock just now. Like I read Woodcock, but when I was checking out of society, I fell out of society all year, and I read fucking anarchism at the very end, because this is when I'm most receptive to it, because I don't believe in anything, and I'm like, all right, time to reboot Shaz from the ground up. So if I'm ever going to be receptive to this shit, it's now. Give him a fair chance to get in my head and give me, and I'm taking some of it, but I think I like who he's introduced me to. I think he himself has critical blind spots, which is probably why, we'll see. Well, I'll look him up. What the fuck was his angle? At one point, Jack imposed himself upon his sister, making her support him as well as her own children, while he was trying to make it as a writer. I lived with this arrogance, but with less support, until I got it in my head to walk in front of Nancy Pelosi's office downtown for the distance from Iraq's Gulf border to Baghdad, symbolically tracing the path of our invasion. War had become my ultimate injustice, my cause, and Pelosi, the daughter of a congressman who had worked her way up the Democratic Party through her fundraising acumen, was the perfect figurehead for an entrenched, corrupt political class. Remember when the Democrats had total control of government in 2008 and a mandate to end war? I would spend over 5 hours a day for about a week pacing in front of that federal building in my BDUs. Military camo pants with a strip of an American flag tied around my ankle. So now I'm being like the Buddhist guy staring that hole into the fucking cliff. It's like when Shaz gets something on his mind, I can just like meditative. Like I slow my mind all the way down. That's how I feel right now. I got this project. I'm not just fucking walking around being in psycho, but some of us are just bulldogs, intellectual bulldogs. When we get on something, we get on something. In other words, I fit right into San Francisco's homeless population, and then my knees started to swell to the point I couldn't walk anymore. I called my mom and asked her for the gas money to drive me home. Fiji marketing material from 11/12/02. Before my political rabbit hole, that once innocent, honest inquiry that had now consumed my life, I did have other plans. Like Jack London, I always envisioned myself as an explorer of the world. He built himself a boat, sailed it around the world. Didn't quite do what he wanted to do. But raised in the desert, but with my dad as a beach kid from Costa Mesa, I loved the sea and warmer climates. So in 2002, I sent away for an information packet on Fiji. Apparently, there were good deals on land there. Clint Eastwood even owned some property, and he has good taste. If you doubt me, just visit Carmel by the Sea sometime. He was the mayor there. So a life of island paradise was always in the back of my mind. It just took a call from a friend who had moved to Puerto Rico to make it a reality, closer to the beginning of empire, closer to my heritage, further away from responsibilities and failures. I surprised my friend on Valentine's Day with her bike as a gift from California and the need for a place to live. I left my books though, and luckily, that first week my laptop was stolen, so I couldn't write. New beginnings, new lessons in the wild. I talked enough about that. So there we go. And then that's halfway, and it's 50 minutes. I'm not going to finish the next one. Seems like these take about 15 minutes to read. So I'm going to have 161 videos because I'm going to have to do 6 videos next time instead of 5. I'll do another half of that. I'll read the other 3. And I'll do some slight commentary like I'm doing, and I'll have 10 more minutes. So when did I write that? I'll continue my narrative eventually. 172 dumps, and I'm stuck on. Pooks. So many emotions wrapped up in pooks. Yeah, we're still at the beginning. Just started dating her. Just won her affection. Yeah, because I have to walk my memories through, like where I'm living after that, this and that. And then we broke, and I lived other places. I'll get there. There's important lessons, and then as I'm doing that, I'm realizing, because the business thing, I don't have a plan for this. So like every now and then I'll remember, all right, so this is how I was doing real estate, how I was breaking down the market, breaking down stuff. But so I wrote this in 2017 at the end of, I could talk about that. 8 minutes. At the end of 2017, the market was starting to slow down. We were going into another winter cycle. Winter is tough because I have to, all my metrics, I track it all. I could fucking make it. I had never missed a bill. One of these documents is like my credit, which is shit now, but it shows you like the full credit that I was good. When I was good for a good year and a half, I got my credit up to the 700s from fucking shit. So now this is another challenge. We'll see if I made it a little bit more difficult for myself this time. But, and then I was facing another winter, another hard winter, and your heart has to be in it. It's tough. And I'd proven to myself I could make money. I'd proven to myself I could be a winner in society. I'd proven to myself I can get women. I can do that whole like, wow, she's cute, and then go after her and compete against other men and get her an amazing woman, a woman that were like still like, I don't know how these things work out. You never really, I always think that I'm going to get back with my exes until you realize the door is closed for good. I thought I could get back with Sean until she was like, no. And yeah, that's Shaz. I'm just like, kind of always thinking that, whatever. I think I'm pretty decent at getting what I want, but knowing what is good for you is a completely different thing, right? You could be good at life at accumulating, but quality over quantity. Should you accumulate? Yeah, you could. You didn't stop to think whether you should. So that's what I was doing at the end of 2017. I'd gotten a couple bad reviews, and I don't usually get bad reviews. That's the way I was explaining how I advertise. There's a subtlety, there's a tact. If you want to approach women the same fucking exact way, you could be like a playboy and go out there and fuck a different girl every night in New York. But you have to be smooth, because if you're being that aggressive, you might turn some people off. And if you have that many interactions, then some of them might be bad. So the fact that I was running such a high volume of leads and qualifying so many people, I was going to get some picky people. I was going to get more than the average. If I'm doing 4 times, 5 times the business, literally 5 times the business of the average rental agent in New York, just because of my systems, I'm running through, and they have better closing ratios because they wait for those good leads. They're only closing pretty much the good ones. I'm closing the good, the medium. I'm getting some really tough people who are like, well, no one else was able to solve this problem. And I'm like, oh, I'm your dude. I'm a specialist. Some of the people who had specific needs, since I wouldn't just sit in one neighborhood, babysit one apartment, I developed a really good knowledge of the whole inventory of the whole market. So if someone was looking for something particular, I usually, when I was first doing real estate, I wouldn't pick up that client because I didn't know enough, and I knew that was just going to be a waste of my time. But towards the last couple of years, I could pick up those clients. I started my appetite. I realized that once you get better in your industry, in your field, your appetite broadens. And that's what when I wrote that in December 2017. 2018, Shaw came over. She's like, I've seen you broke. I've seen you with money. You've always wanted to write. I suggest you get back to work because you're happier with money. I've seen you. She was like, I've seen this manic phase before. We went around California. That's what your friends are there for you. They're like, they've seen your cycles. She's like, I know what you're capable of if anyone does. She probably knows me better than my parents. Your lovers, your ex-lovers know you as good as fucking anyone. She's like, knows everything about me, my mind, my body, my positives, my negatives. That's why she was like, at certain times in my life, she's like, I don't know if I want to introduce you to my best female friends because you're in this like acquisitive state. I get what she's saying. She's like, I mean, I think sometimes she sells me short, but whatever. That means I've been too aggressive with her recently or something. She misses me. That's why we're talking. But, I mean, it's also competitive. Like when we do the arm game, it's like there's ego shit that's going to be going involved with your friends, especially if you have a strong ego. That's why they're your friends. We're just tough people. But she was like, you need to get back to work. You need to fucking stop being a bum. And although she's not going to understand my creative artistic projects because it's mine, and I stopped looking for validation. That's a part of the artistic process. If you're trying to break as an artist, is you got to learn to stop asking validation of others because your process might take years. You just have to be committed to it. Don't be unreasonable. I told my folks I'm doing this now, but after January, I'll start working in your agency. I'll get a job, whatever. I'm being a bum. I said, I just need to finish up the year. I need a place to do it. My dad let me borrow his laptop here. I'm borrowing their house. Not disrespecting it too much. Not smoking too much weed, but I'm a grown-ass man. I'll smoke a little bit of weed. But I told him, come January, Responsible Shaz is coming back. So come January, I'm going to try to sell all the shit or try to do something with it. But I gave myself this year, and that's why I decided, because I wrote that at the end of 2017. I was like, what the fuck's going on in my life? I was like, fuck, well, am I really doing this? And then like come January, I was like, huh. Oh, I brought it up because of the appetite, being a specialist. So I did try to go back to real estate. January, February, not the whole months, but January I went back and I got 2 clients, closed 2 deals. 2 deals within 3 days, both of them the first apartment I showed them, and I made $6,500. So that comes when you're at the top of your game. I couldn't do that at the very beginning. That's 5 years, 6 years, 5 years, I guess. And I can't really count 2018, but 2012 to 17. Like Shah repeatedly says, she worked at 5 different companies in New York, and people give her compliments all the time, not just because she's cute and she sells with her skirt, although she has that gear too. Just like I have different gears and I have like asshole gear and stuff. If you're a girl and you're fucking charismatic, you're like, you don't think I fucking wear tight t-shirts and fucking work on my arms and shit and I'm talking to the chicks? So yeah, no, the girls, you got your gears. If you could get an advantage, I've had fucking females all the time try to fucking touch my arm and try to like, I'm like, we could play that, but like that ain't gonna get you shit. But like, so Shah's got her gears. But so people compliment her, but not just because she's cute, but because she's good at what she does in real estate. And she's like, well, fucking Shaz, he taught me. Shaz is the best person I know at what he does. And she's seen a lot of people. So like I was decent. And then so I came back in January and I made that $6,500. I was like, but then I took it and I was like, I used that to buy, because I never saved money. I just used that to buy $2,000 worth of bedding and IKEA bunk beds and shit. I made a hostel. And I was like, all right, this is going to buy me the cash flow to not do real estate. And I did that until April or May. And that gave me the cash flow in 2018 to actually, I said, all right, I guess I'm doing this. 2018, I'm going to check out my mind and I'm just going to fucking, I wrote this and that was enough to be like, I need a year of this. I wrote that over a couple of weeks, just checking out at real estate at the end of 2017. And then I took Shah's advice like I always do. I fucking, always try to check my blind spots. So I was like, all right, maybe I'm fucking being just fucking silly. But then when I got back into real estate and within a couple of days, I made that money, which that's as good as I was. That's as good as you can be. You show an apartment, they rent it, and you get a full 15% fee. So I did that fucking twice within a half a week. So that's as good as it gets in real estate, is fucking you show them an apartment within 24, 48 hours, you get money. You're making what? That's fucking, yeah, 20,000 a month. What that's like, you can't really average 2,000 a day. But when you're killing it, you average 2,000 a day during the first 10 to 14 days. That's all. It's just you're not getting that many clients the whole month. But within the first busy week or two, you're averaging 1,000 to 2,000 a day if you're really good on top of it and you're closing business every other day. So to jump right back into it and jump in the winter, which is a slow time, and get those types of businesses, I could have taken that 2 ways. I could have taken that as I should stay in real estate. I took it the exact opposite. I was like, I should take this money and run. That's what it is. You can fucking, you can stay in the city trying to work your business while your girl's in Puerto Rico, which will happen to me. And so this is me learning the business. That when the money comes easy, sometimes you stop working and now you have a really high ratio of work to money. Any more effort you put into that fucking pipeline is lowering that ratio. So sometimes when it happens quick, you stop it, you're in and out, you walk away from the table. Like this is all earnings with a really tight. That's why I could say that's over 3 days. Because as soon as that second one closed, I was like, I'm done. Stop it. This is capital for my hostel.